allow the children
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind.
Insulting me, I won't, but insult to Oyedepo. That bastard. Tell him any day I hear him talk about Oyedepo. Do they know his father? That the priest has a father. Who is his father? That half caste who is born by Somalian. Did I hear him insult Oyedepo again? I will deal with him. Oyedepo may not talk, but I can't be alive to insult my father. If that, who gave birth to him? If he has a father, let him show us his father's picture. Somebody they gave birth to in the sheep. Does he look like a Nigerian? That's a Somalian. If I hear him insult father with my father again, Oyedepo will not talk, but I can't be alive to insult my father. I can't be alive. I caused today was born. Insult my own father when I'm alive. I can't take it. Oyedepo will not talk, but I can't be alive. You insult my father. I will tear you. I will tear you to pieces. I'll be alive. You insult my father. Then say, hey, I'll tear you to pieces, you bastard. People who have fathers don't insult fathers. He's insulted because he has no father. You can never insult a father if you have a father. He has no father. Tell him, oh. Tell him. This is the last day he talks about Oyedepo again. He's a bastard. He's a bastard. Does he have a father? Who's his father? Let him show his father's picture. If he has a father. A man who cannot marry. He has no wife. He can't manage his home. He's coming to talk on television. Is it not his wife who left him? Huh? A man who has a broadcaster. He doesn't have a good job. I've been insulting my own father and people are laughing. Say, talk. Anybody insult my father again, I will just. Anybody may not talk, but me, I will talk. I will never be alive to see somebody insult my father. You are not born. You are not born. I will kill you. I will tear you to pieces. Very soon, I will arrest him. Next one, I will.
Well, let's listen to this as well. Important.
Because of the contents thereof. I didn't insult Bishop David Oyedepo. He quoted from the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22, and I drew his attention to verse 21. Correcting scripturally is not an insult. Christ was criticized. Paul was criticized. Peter was criticized. Even the Pharisees were criticized. So there's no way you're going to preach a message from the scriptures that you will not get criticism. It's impossible. Even the closest friends of mine who agree doctrinally still disagree over some scriptures here and there, some doctrines here and there, and some ideologies. I find it very devastating that just to get to me, Pastor Ibiomi, he will drag the whole Somalian nation. I'm very proud to associate myself with Somalians and Somalia because they are beautiful people, beautiful Africans like you and I. It is hate speech to undermine them with derogatory words. Is it not just a Somalian? Like there's anything wrong with being Somalian. To all my followers and fans in Somalia, I love you all and I'm proud to be associated with you, even though by birth I'm not Somalian. My mom is European and my father is Yoruba. Going beyond this, I also need to draw the attention of the public and the law enforcement to the threat of life that was issued to me in that video. Pastor Ibiomi, I don't know if you realize that the threat to life is a criminal offense. And let it be on the record that you threatened my life. Is this how Nigeria is going to accept this? If anything happens to me, I hope you know who to hold responsible. This has been on social media space for about 24 hours now. I'm yet to hear anything from the police. What happened to our laws on hate speech, racism, discriminatory statements, threat to life, which is actually criminal? What happened to all this? Are we going to keep quiet and just let this lie because it's coming from a pastor? Pastor Ibiomi, does that make me less of a human being? Are you aware that the word half caste is racist? The world is fighting against racism, systemic racism, outright racism. And it brings tears to my eyes that a black man will refer to a fellow black man during the time that people are crying that Black Lives Matter as a half caste. Hate speech, let me inform you, is criminal. It's derogatory to make such a remark, and I ask that you apologize for it. You say I'm not my father's son. I put it to you to prove who my real father is. Because with that verbal construct, you have insulted the integrity of my mother, who is a professor of law, Pastor Ibiomi. Do you honestly believe that the tenets of Christianity were upheld in that video? Do you believe that as a pastor behind a pulpit, you show the likeness of Christ in your utterances in that video? Is what you did in synchrony and symphony with the Christian scriptures? You said you would finish me. From my understanding, that's another criminal offense. A threat to life is criminal. And if anything happens to me, so I'm speaking to the public, I'm speaking to the police, I'm speaking to the world at large. Should anything whatsoever happen to me, I want you to know who to hold responsible.
Don't worry, bros. Nothing will happen to you. It is Nigeria. And good evening to all of you. This is Maiyegun Live. I decided to start this broadcast with those two clips from the raging, the current trending Nigeria mad news. But as for me, for those who know Maiyegun very well, I am going to take you on a journey that will show to you that Nigeria is a mad country, populated by mad people, and only few who pretend to be normal are even doubting themselves. Normal people are doubting themselves like, is it normal to think it's wrong to not have electricity? And you see politicians driving about and you are not stoning them. So is it normal to feel like that? Like it is wrong to accept all the barbarity, all the madness going on in Nigeria? Then you realize that those who are normal people are now being seen as people who are abnormal because the population of mad people has taken over. And that has affected people's reasoning. And this is interconnected altogether. Religion, politics, economy, security, food security, this and that. Oh, how am I going to pay my next bill? Or is it going to be through miracle? Or am I going to get my salary next week? Or am I going to get paid my pension? All this fear and everything. So everybody is just cashing in on that because it is a mad country. And don't feel ashamed if I say you are living in a mad country, because to you are normal. But there is a record released by your government in 2017 that says that 80% of Nigerians have mental problem, PTSD, reactionary, getting angry easily, and in fact, ready to kill for sundry and useless reasons. And they will be justified for many, many, many reasons, like religion. Religion in Nigeria is so serious, I can't tell you how many thousands of threats I received from people who claim to be speaking for God alone on social media. In the process of them condemning you for doing something wrong against God, they themselves will begin to take the position of devil, wishing evil, threatening life, threatening everything that has to do with you in the name of defending their whatever they believe in. And I found out that it is actually so terrible. It is a complete misplaced judgment for anyone to think it is only the Islamic, the Muslims that are violent. They are the people who are easy to anger. They are the people who tend to be, Christians do take everything along. Yeah, what you call religion in Nigeria is actually endurance of servitude. And that is why I want you to know this. My message today is directly towards every wrong personality who has been playing one role or the other in the mess you found yourselves today. That will make a pastor, look at the way he was talking. I can't talk about my father, a grown-up idiot. But Nigerians will fight for pastors, fight for God, but are so tired, disoriented, ignorant on how to fight for themselves. And this is why this is okay. And if the truth will hurt, my brother, my sister, it is better you stop watching now. It is for your own good. I don't mind. You can continue. So I have received more threats. You will die. Why should I die? Because someone calls out a pastor, a fake pastor, Nigerian pastors, your pastors. Because you too, you are waiting for the time you are going to become a big pastor, miracle merchant, and you can have your own big money and call it blessing, right? In this process, I have been threatened. So nobody is going to kill you, my brother. If they try to kill you, it won't be because they know God. It won't be because they have any power. It is simply because they have people they can pay. It was the same criminal, that same Port Harcourt pastor, David Ibioyemi or whatever, Ibioyemi, whatever fuck the name is bearing. They lie to you, and I can't, I took my time to study this, and that's why I keep saying it. They serve fake God. It is so fake that Nigeria has become so religious, but morality, thieving, stealing, morality, low. The worst criminal, the worst crime you can ever come across, from man to man, from pastor to their followers, from their churches to the community they are living in, and then to the community, to the government of the country. I have realized that they are all esprit de corps, working hand in hand. Pastors, politicians, affairs, imams, cleric, bishop, Khan, Christian Association of Nigeria, Islamic Association of Nigeria, this one association of that. They are all together just to do one thing, to keep you in perpetuity of ignorance and possibly enslavement. And they have succeeded. But what they did mostly is that they were supposed to win soul. And part of winning soul is to debunk lies. But today in Nigeria, you can't even differentiate between your pastors and your politicians anymore. Your politicians, you see some of them, they say he's a pastor. He's a politician, he's also a pastor. Or he's a pastor before. He's a politician before. He's turned to a pastor. You know what they do? Because they understand the role. It's about deceiving people. It's about taking advantage of people. It is about manipulating people for self-gain. And they only do that by saying, if you challenge us, you will die. That's the most ridiculous thing I was ever told when I was growing up about religion. We were so scared. You can't talk. You can't speak your mind. Many of those who are going to condemn you, many of those who are going to attack you because of their pastors, many of them, they never opened their Bible in their lives. When they opened their Bible, it's because they gave them this. Their pastor says, go and read verse, go and read chapter, go and read verse this, verse that. And therefore, they take their own pastors, they take their cleric as their God. They fear them more than they fear God. You better don't put curse on yourself. Those are their usual line. Hey, my brother, you better don't put curse on yourself. You better don't let them put any generational curse on you. You better face your activism, because that is what they have made you to be. Just ask yourself, upon all that power, upon all that Holy Spirit, no touch, upon all that Islamic Torah, power, this and that, there's this affair, we have this powerful affairs in Ilorin, we have this powerful this in these places, and they speak directly to God wherever they tell God. It is all scam. Because at the end of the day, many of you are so religious, but ungodly. You became so religious that you now gave them the license for them to be able to say, oh, if you want your lives to be better, you better vote for this politician because God told us that they will be the one to change your lives. And millions who are so religious will take that. So they made the country a religious country, but ungodly country. Every politician is a deacon. You'll be shocked. If he's not a deacon, he is an allergy. Many of them have visited Mecca. They have visited Jerusalem. and they will tell you that they read the Quran, and in their own Quran and in their own Bible, there's nowhere there that stated that God will punish them if they do believe in that God will punish them if they steal from people, right? If they kill people, and if they manipulate the system that they should be godly about. If they believe in that religion, they will be more. Nigeria will be more, not just religious, it will be more godly too. You people will be godly. Taking bribe won't be like a normal thing to you. Like it's just us. That's how we are. That's how it's going to be. It won't be normal to you. Your policemen will not be kidnapping you just simply because they want to kill you or extort you. Your politicians will not be stealing from you, taking that same money outside the country while they watch you die in abject want and lack. They all praise to God. They all shout about God and this and that. Then I realized that it's only a dumbo that will think is pastor, especially any of them in Nigeria who are currently the pattern, we know them, who are friends of the same criminals who are, doing this to you. You would expect that, oh, fine, at least you have good pastors, you have a great affairs, great imam who can change your life, who can cause you. But they cannot cause poverty. They cannot cause insecurity. Every now and then, all you hear from them is that we ban. And the rest of the day, they will tell you they are organizing a national prayer, afar this, afar that. In all those books they have, that cannot heal the poverty in that country. It's the same book they are threatening you with, that they are going to what? They are going to curse you for asking them the question. Fear. The same thing. Now, what is the difference between the fanatics in Christianity and the lunatic, the fanatics in Islam? They are not different. Too. The only difference there is that they do their own killings when necessary differently. They are not like their Christ. That's one thing there. And this is what they have actually done to put wool over your eyes. And therefore, you go about, what do? You go about telling people to shut up about your God. Telling people to shut up. Who are the gods? Your pastors, your affairs, all those criminals, all those suit-wearing bunch of rogues that you bow your heads to, those you pray to. You think you're praying to God, right? Those criminals that, jet-flying thugs, those bunch of pickpockets that you call your pastors, those criminals that are working hand in hand with the criminals who are also making laws to make your lives miserable. So get mad, because I'm just about to start. So they have done that. And over in the last 24 hours, as expected, just the same way we saw the lunatics who are also using Islam as their own cover for their lunacy, telling you that don't talk about our religion like that. Don't blaspheme about our religion. Don't let us, if you anywhere you are, we will kill you. Then you ask them, what the fuck is wrong with humanity? Lunatics. They said someone sang a song and he overpraised his own imam. Religion too. He overpraised his own imam above Muhammad. And the lunatics in Kano and their fellow lunatics, Islamic lunatics across Nigeria and the rest, wherever they are, they began running mad. Yes, they have to kill him. Maiyegun, watch your mouth. Maiyegun, don't let her. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these idiots? From your phone there, you are making the threat because you are representing God, because that is the country that they have built for you, the country that is populated by 80% mad people. It's as simple as that. Let me give you another example. They said a man must die for saying something about their religion. Then everybody was like, hey, it is because it is here. That's what they do. Oh. They will just kill the guy. Can you imagine? This is why Islam is this. They were feeling good. The same weary who are going to tell you that the Holy Spirit is going to do this to you. Something is going to happen to your fortune. You are going to die simply because you are telling their lunatic pastor, a criminal thug, criminals who sabi read Bible. If I punch on my screen right now, as I'm speaking to you right now, on all topic that exists, every topic in this life, ask me any question. If you want me to reply you with a Bible quote, right? A session whereby you'll be asking me questions, I'll be responding with Bible quotes, Bible chapters, and all of that. I will do it on this program today, and many of you will what? You will leave convinced that this Maiyegun must have some Holy Spirit too, because you are an idiot. Your relationship between your religion and your God is between you and following the edict, the norm of that religion you are pledging to, not to that suit-wearing lunatic, a 419 who is only making his money to make his life better. And every time you try to challenge him or her, then they will tell you there's something written in that book that is going to kill you. And you, stupidly too, you are passing that along, telling other people something is going to happen to them. You better watch your mouth. My friend, you better do this, this, and that. And the reason why we won't watch our mouth is this. And that's why you need to know. The way the politicians, starting from the Bokwari, that is your current president, yeah, he got all his endorsements, all his own secret prayers, all the brainwashing of you, the Buharidins and the Buhari didn'ts, the Buhari denotus, the rest of you, who ended up buying into their lies. They used every medium, including these churches. I remember they told you now, no be here with they, when they told you that you needed to vote for a general and a pastor. Do you think we are going to now underplay the role that fake religion, these fake criminals in Nigeria used to hoodwink you and still using to today? They told you vote for a pastor. Today in Nigeria, they will tell you, if your president is a Muslim, the vice president must be Christian. We cannot have Muslim. We cannot have Christian. That is how they have programmed the country, because that is the mentality of the people they are leading. The majority of you, that's who you are. They program it that way. If you don't have any religion, you can just pretend to be a Christian or pretend to be a Muslim. You don't have to be godly. Just tell them you believe in God. You are a Muslim. You are a Christian. You support Islam. You support Christianity. You have donated to churches. You have sponsored this and that. Even though you are stealing and looting money that should have made life easier for people using that same religion cover, the Nigerian system allows you. If you don't get any religion, they will say it's an evil person. It's an evil devil worshipper. But they can easily vote for someone once you say it's a pastor. I know that. Every other thing doesn't matter. This affects your polity, and it brings in these criminals you now have today. So in the process, your pastors will go to your church and tell you, do you know that the man contesting to be president is a Christian? He is one of us. He is, in fact, he attends a Catholic church. In fact, he is this and that. And people will begin to start seeing him from their own religious, brainwashed angle. Not about the economic advantage it's going to bring to them, not about the improvement it's going to be to bring to their lives for the time it's going to lead them if he becomes their leader. All those are just secondary. Is he a Christian? Well, I feel comfortable to go with a Christian because, my religion, I trust a Christian more than this. It doesn't matter. The same person will then end up like a fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu. Today, I have been abused. I have been attacked. Many of you don't like me today simply because of my position on Pastor Ruga. To you, I was insulting the man of God. So if Pastor Ruga is not in asshole rock villa right now, if he's not there, it will probably be somewhere in Lekki, build his own church and begin to lie to other idiots like him using the same religion. Meanwhile, economically, policy-wise, is contributed to whatever problem many of you are going to your churches to pray for. That is where I have problem with them. They use religion to hoodwink you, tells you, take advantage of that emotional there. The same emotion you are using now to react to me, to react to this video. The same emotion that is making you feel like, Maiyegun, just shut up. Maiyegun, you are, just listen. Just shut up and listen. Okay? It is all programmed and they work together. And the way they work together is that they know you need that. And they have all the keywords in their books to make you believe that indeed this is the Lord's doing. You have grown up to realize that those who are stealing from you, they are either Christians or Muslims. Even though you also know that they perform other local rituals that they cannot even be bold enough to tell you about. But secretly, you know it. It's the secret of their power. They are in secret court case. Or they are in that. But when we come for them, you forgot that when they want to get to wink you, they don't come to you all the time. They come to you through all the pastors you have in your churches. They come to you when your pastors begin to talk about politics and they begin to take positions based on their own fake prophecies and all of that. And you believe them because you call them your what? Your shepherd. Is that not what you call your spiritual fathers? So you gave them the opportunity to manipulate you. They are manipulating you for their own gain and to ensure that they sustain whatever gain they are making from manipulating you. Using that Islam, using that Christianity, they decided to ensure they calm you down all the time, telling you to pray, telling you to fast and pray, telling you to wait, telling you to be patient, telling you never to criticize your leaders, telling you never to ask questions, telling you that if you stand up to ask questions, you are challenging God, you are challenging authority. And when you challenge authority, you are challenging God. What the fuck is that? Ask yourself that. Pastors working with politicians, pastors, the religious leaders, the Islamic leaders, the pastors, the Christianity leaders, robbing the back of their politicians from all over the country. While the politicians are also robbing the back of the religious leaders. In the process, the politicians loot and steal from you, take over your right, abuse you at will, but you cannot react because you are going to end up in the mosque. Your Islamic leader is going to preach to you. You are going to end up in the church. Your pastor is going to preach to you, and he's going to tell you about what God told him last night, about why you should be patient, and on and on and on like that. And in the process, the pastor can keep all the money he makes. He can buy himself a private jet. He can build himself the biggest auditorium anywhere. He can get away with everything, all tax-free, because he is robbing the back of the politician, and the politician is robbing his back. In the name of God, who is the victim? You. And that is why I will say it. Nobody, you will with me now, nobody, none of your threat matters. If you are new on Maiyegun's Diary, I welcome you to the party. Okay? You will get used to it or you get kicked out at the end of the day. It works either way. But the truth of the matter is this. When things affect you and you get to see that one way or the other, you dissipate your energy more defending the people who are already protected by the system. Let me give you this example again. You see, this same pastor in Port Harcourt is a complete rogue. But it's so sad that he exists in Nigeria. And that is where people have become more religious, but more ungodly. Okay? He is a pastor that walks about with his own security as usual, and then and prays for his followers to what? For Holy Spirit protection. Not bad for business. He is someone who is personally, with his own character, looked more like a sort of an educated terrorist. You see that video where a pastor threatened a citizen became more racist. I know Nigerians are racist. Some of you don't believe. You say we are tribalist. Oh, okay. Maybe they say black Africa is a race. And within that Africa, we have so many tribes. So Africans would rather say they are tribalist or they are homophobic or something like that, or just funny names. But the truth of the matter is this, right? Nigerians, majority of us Nigerians, thank God for exposure, okay? And we still have so many of us who still have that sentiment somehow. We are more or less like, naturally racist too. But the way we don't really do it so much to the rest of the world is because we always love to play victim as well. Like we quickly play victim because we put ourselves in the bracket of, where, you know, when the white people did this, or when the white people did that, and all of that stuff. So we put ourselves in that bracket, forgetting the fact that even right now, black on black killing blacks, black government killing black people, and then, escalating and then expansion of poverty in Africa, and even in Nigeria, our own small Africa. So we can say we are not racist, Abi, but we are just a tribalist. Fine, I will go with that. In Nigeria, naturally, you will see a Yoruba man that despises an Igbo man. Not because he's had any relationship, not because he's had any experience with an Igbo man. Some of them have never really had any business with an Igbo man. But he has that upbringing, that mentality that told him to be careful of an Igbo man. Same thing goes to a Fulani Hausa man. He grew up believing that he needs to be very careful, and they gave him preferences. You can be friend with a Yoruba man, but be very careful of an Igbo man. Oh. I say, okay. He never had experience with him. He never had any encounter with an Igbo man. Many of them never really met an Igbo man or an Igbo person before from the East. Unfortunately, it will shock you. There are many people who haven't. But they have heard a lot that told them, be careful, oh, be careful. Oh. Same thing goes to an Igbo man too. There are those who grew up inside that same Nigeria that grew up and they were told, be very, 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 very careful of a Yoruba man. Or else, this is what will happen. This is what will happen. I don't know the story they told you, but we're all told stories, okay? Some of us had to relearn what we learned when we're growing up. I know some of you haven't unlearned what you have learned when you are growing up. No problem. But you are there. It's the reality. So same thing goes across everywhere. The funniest thing is that when you now break even all the tribes into pieces again, and you go into Igbo land, and you begin to meet other adjoining tribes that makes up the entire Biafra, then you begin to see other discrepancies too. You begin to see some other smaller tribes who also can be counted as minorities, right? And then have their own limitations for being that small too. And people will say, be careful of, all Lu people should be careful of Ebonyi people. Ebonyi people should be careful of Abia people. And on like that. If you come to Yoruba land, they will tell you the same thing. Egba should be careful of Ijebu. But what am I trying to say? I am saying that we are, one way or the other, all sort of raised to be tribalist. So we are naturally tribalist, okay? And you have a country whereby you believe that your education will make you understand life better and be able to treat other people fairly, okay? And treat people the way you want to be treated. Then religion also teaches you to what? To respect other people's humanity, existence. It says love. The only religion that God has is love. Love means if you have love, you will never, even if you are so hungry, you will never wish that, if I do it, I will kill you or I will cut off your head. In the name of what? In the name of what you believe in. Now, religion, even if tribe want to make you be very careful of other people, and therefore you can kill them because to you feel like they are dangerous to you. But you are educated, meaning you will understand the human diversity and respect that you don't have to kill people simply because you don't like them. You don't have to attack people simply because they say something you don't like. Education will allow you to learn that. Religion, genuine religion, the one that is peaceful in your heart, you and your God, will teach you not to kill anybody in the name of your God. We teach you that no matter how angry you are, there is something called love, and it is what is called God. And if you have it, you will never, in the name of anything, even think about it. That's religion. That's what it should be. And all this came into existence to then make you, instead of to loathe the other people around you, you will appreciate the diversity of human existence. Like, wow, you can actually speak your language so fluently, and you have about 50 million people who speak the language. Wow, I want to learn about that. What are other things I need to know about your tribe? What are the other things I need to know about your culture? I'm a Christian, and I'm a Muslim, by the way. Does your culture allows the flexibility of that, the acceptability of that, the limitation and the respect that comes, the boundary that comes with what you love and what I love? Meaning, for what you love and what I love, there is a boundary. Yours cannot cross mine cannot cross yours. And if we say cross, it means if I stop you from practicing yours, if you stop me from believing in mine, that is the crossing the line. But I said something about yours, you said something about mine. In the name of what would you want someone dead or destroyed? In the name of what? That is where your education comes in. That is where your religion comes in. But without all these killings, hatred, the turnover of religion, the turnaround of what the morality should be, without all the manipulation, all these things wouldn't make you rich. Trust me, it will make you human, satisfied. It will make you more appreciative of human existence without being judgmental. You are going to hellfire. You are going to heaven. Who are you? Who make you the Attorney General of anywhere? You are not even a solicitor over your own life. You have already outsourced that to the criminals who are telling you they know God more than you, and they were born like you and me. And the only place I have problem with them is this. It is where they use the human division that should have been human diversity, and they use religion, right, to further subjugate that, destroy that, because it pays them. And here we are. You will see many of them in the comment section. They are Attorney General of Hellfire. They are the gate men, and they are actually the CSO, Chief Security Officer of Heaven. They know who is going to hell. They know who is going to heaven. And here you are. All they needed to put on that pastor in Port Harcourt is just to put the bedsheet on over his head, and get him some long beard, right? And then give him tasbih, yeah, give him that. And then whatever he says is just going to look like a shekau. I have problem with that. I have problem with that because I know the influence they weigh. Now they brought Kama. They said Kama. Normally, guys, normally. This is not about, oh, we hate pastors and all of that. You can love them, okay? It has nothing to do with your love and all that for them. But it has a lot to do with you personally now. You are so concerned about heaven, Abi. Look around you. And like I said, the people who are stealing from you, Boko Haram is a Muslim. Do you know that? Buratai the butcher is a Muslim. Do you know that? Tifnumbu, Jagaweri, Jaga Bandit, Jaga Addict of Lagos is a Muslim. You know that? Sowobo, that is your governor in Lagos State right now, is a Christian. I'm not sure. Maybe he had to adopt that because, many of your state governors are either Christians or Muslim. And, funny enough, many of them have visited the holy places like Mecca, like Jerusalem. They went there. They had money to go there and meet God, wherever he is there. And they spoke to God and said, God, forgive me all my sins. Make me a good person to my people and all of that. And they returned back to Nigeria after 60 years. After 60 years of going to those places, your politicians, including your pastors, your alphas, your cleric and all of that in the north and all of that, look around you. Who are those making the laws that are now going to put you in jail if you ask for your rights? Who are those who are already collecting your pension, your grandparents' pension, your parents' pension, the people who are not paying those pensions? If you look at them, who are they? Are they not Muslims and Christians? When you go around and see those who are in charge of the Nigerian military intelligence agency, the people that can track you down on social media within 24 hours and arrest you for writing or commenting on social media, the same people, they are Muslims, they are Christians, but they cannot trace the jihadists that are killing you today. They cannot trace single of them. They cannot prosecute either of, any of them so far. They are still killing you. And they remember, they know they have the truth. They have the fact. They know how to end it, but they choose not to because it pays them. The longer it goes, the more money they make from you, from your blood. They are Christians. They are Muslims. So is there no way or nowhere within their heart of hearts, or whenever they are, having conversation with their God, right? Is there no way within that period that God told them that they should do the right thing? Pay your pension. Contract they are awarded for that road, that they should pay for it and get it completed up to standard. The electricity they have been telling you that they are going to give you every 4 years. Is there nowhere in their heart of heart if they genuinely know God? So over the years, Nigeria grew into becoming a religious country and then ungodly country. You are heartless. That is why, as a Christian, see, it is not hard anymore. To some of you who have been seeing some ridiculous comments on social media, since ridiculous reply, ridiculous and then miserable responses of those who claim to be Christians, defending the threat from a man that is hearing from God. Listen to him. He's a pure thug. I won't even speak like that. Trust me. Even me, Maiyegun, that you say I got what do they call a bad mouth. You always say my mouth is bad, Abby. I won't even come here and tell you I will kill somebody, I will do this, I will do that, I will deal with you, I will do this and that. I won't even talk like that. Even despite that, many of you believe that now me go hellfire because I know they respect your God man, or is a man of God or God of man in Nigeria. Because the reason why nothing is going to happen is because they are frauds. And when we say they are fraud, that shouldn't make you feel bad. Your religion is your faith, which means your faith, your heart is your own religion. If you feel offended that anybody calls them out, you are not different from them. Stop calling yourself a religious person or a godly person. You are as miserable as God help you, God help your soul. You are as miserable as those you look up to as your God men or men of God. In Islam, they will say they should whip you and cut off your head if you insult their cleric. In Christianity, they will tell you that the Holy Spirit will destroy you. Something will happen to you. Something will strike you. You will get sick and there will be no cure. You know, that thought. How can that thought be coming from the mind of those who are supposed to be godly? Those who are supposed to be to know God. Those who read the words of God all the time. Like, you begin to ask yourself, where is that coming from? You realize that their pastors have taken them to different chapters in the Bible, where those who try to do one thing or the other in their Hebrew book and what have you, the Bible, they will use them as example of what will happen to you. And you begin to ask yourself, how come Jesus now died for all of us? How come? How come that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to give a special hadith for those they call the unbelievers in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia then, that if they don't believe, there's no compulsion in Islam, but let them live in peace. If they don't fight you, you don't fight them. And if they say anything against your religion or if they blaspheme, leave them and let them say what they can say until they will stop blaspheming against your religion. All these are part of the teachings of Muhammad. Even in the era of, God knows, the century, yeah? Imagine that was like, the Stone Age. It was the medieval period where the punishment there was like, they can cut off your head, they can cut off this, they can do this and do that to you. Even at that time, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was even able to even put compassion in the religion. I read Quran to some extent. I'm just this guy that I just believe that I shouldn't have any religion. And since then, I've had peace. I don't have to fear anything because you know what I mean. The way they make the religion to us in Nigeria, they make you feel like, oh boy, now they go and fire out. Oh boy, you know, Jah they say the Jah normal is a fire in Islam. See why a person could burn for thousands of years? Which level now? Which petrol they won't use? You see, oh boy, now forever. We go burn forever until Judgment Day. When did go come big Judgment Day? If the word don't hear, they say, oh boy, we go shout upon. Just do what we say, or else you're gonna go to hellfire. I was like, oh boy, the way this so hellfire, everything they happen, sir. Baba, you be like say some of us could just buy one-way ticket to any of them. If na hellfire mode they go. I know say no be only me. The population of the world is over 10 billion, right? Those who have died, God help us. We go meet for anywhere we want meet. Why you come turn to judge? Then you start asking them like, where are these thoughts coming from? They are not just talking about hellfire anymore. They are more or less saying, oh, your fortune will diminish. Something will happen to you. Your children will die. You will get sick. Or you may get a sickness no cure. You will do this and that. And you will say, waiting. And you realize that it is because of the things they are using to preach to them every Sunday. The things they are using to preach to them in every religious houses they go to. They say, oh yeah, let us curse the poverty. They say, don't let me curse the day you are born. They say, the day you are born is cursed. Now back then we saw, now you they know the day where they curse, the day where they no curse. You get your good day, you get your bad day. One day you go die, and that's it. You know what I'm talking about? So they put us under that fear, but fine. I don't have anything against that until when pastors are now influencing the policy and all of that, right? So poverty is increasing. It is not reducing, right? The corruption in the country is increasing. It is not reducing. And here we are. Everybody is a judge. You are going to this, you are going to that. Nobody is going anywhere, okay? And if someone tells you that it doesn't give a damn about where they are going, why are you worried? You should be worried about what will happen to you on this earth. They have the number. The people that go to churches are those who are the people who are going to buy the fuel for 162 naira. Those of you who have lost your jobs, those of you whose the economy of Nigeria has sort of destroyed enough that your marriage has destroyed, your home has been sort of scattered, right? Effect of every madness going on in Nigeria that you felt one way or the other. Is it the insecurity of police brutality and so on? You will still end up in God's houses to go and do what? To go and pray against those things. But instead of the pastor to tell you that, you know what, guys, let me be honest with you. There's no point in wasting your time praying for poverty to end, or praying for the electricity in this country, or praying for your leaders to do the right thing. You have the number. Why can't they go in there and tell you and say, well, let me tell you something. The devil you are coming here to pray against, right, is not here. He's actually living in the government houses across the country. If you want a better life, if you want jobs, if you want to be out of poverty, you need to go after the criminals who are stealing from you. They won't do that because the politicians makes the law. They can easily tell them that, oh, come, we are taking over your church. And that's it. The same man that is talking to over 50 million, over 40 million people every week, he will find it difficult to even talk to 10,000 people because they will kick him out, put another person there that will continue to tell you to pray, fast, and then hope on God. So nobody is going to kill anybody. No one is going to die simply because your pastor is not happy. Nobody is going to get any unfortunate anything happen to them simply because they actually call out on your pastor, who is not different from a shekau, a terrorist, because that's what they do in the background. That is what they do to their followers. They threaten them. They tell them something will happen to them if they therefore challenge them. And the same mentality is what they are now bringing to the public generally. Imagine a jobless Bible reader who call himself a pastor, living off the people who give him money every week, every day. A jobless Bible reader saying that a journalist is not, being a journalist is not a job. How can the journalist be, journalism be a job when he is already making millions and billions for himself simply because he can read the Bible? and then he can twist it and make more money for himself. So if you feel offended, I understand where you are coming from, but you shouldn't feel offended. You should feel, emancipated, liberated, that listen, none of their causes work on anybody. It is all bullshit. Are you with me? It is complete bullshit. The only cause that is affecting your finance, the only cause that is delaying your marriage, that is making you jobless, that makes it difficult for you to get a job as a graduate right now, the only thing, the only cause that is working against you is the government in Nigeria, is the system. Until you rise up to destroy that system, until you rise up to destroy those who are actually controlling that system, until you rise up to destroy every entanglement relationship with all the religious madness, with the politicians and the polity in Nigeria. You see all those prayers you go to your churches to pray for every now and then. It's a waste of time. You are wasting your time. You're wasting your life. And let me tell you this. This has nothing to do with your faith. You will still get what you will get if you pray to your God personally, okay? It has nothing to do with whether you go to your church or not, okay? You will still get what you get. That is even if you have that faith. But some of you don't even believe in God. You believe in the men of God or God of men. Whatever they say is what God says. You prefer them to say it to you because according to you, they can hear from God, but you are deaf. You cannot hear from God. And from them, through them, you can get a little bit of a forceful hope. That's what they give to you. And that is why none of their causes work on you. There is nobody that caused Nigeria. There is nobody that causes, any of your leaders. There is no evil spirit anywhere working against any of those criminals. But luckily, over the years, even educated people who are also watching me today, they will agree and say, Maiyegun, you don't know what you are talking about. There is evil spirit. There is this spirit. Yes, that's what you are told. And that's what you believe in. And it is a very good excuse for you to become docile, to become powerless, and then hope that there is another spirit that is cleaner, which is the Holy Spirit, that will then help you fight the evil spirit. And your leaders can begin to think right. Your leaders can begin to feel like humans. And many of you can begin to act like humans too. Not as slaves, not as sadists, not as enablers, not as terrorists in the waiting. Because some of you have that terrorism inclination too. You don't know you do. But when you begin to question your judgment about some certain things, because they don't affect you, and the way you react to them, and the way you judge that, we actually prove if you are in that category of the terrorists in the waiting. There is no cause on anybody. Your politicians are not being purchased by the same evil spirit that is making them to steal your money. The evil spirit did not make them steal the money and then burn the money or steal the money, right? And then shred the money. But the evil spirit is making them use the money to buy mansions abroad. The evil spirit is making them to use the money to what? To buy themselves a private jet. Your pastors are also milking you. The Islamic scholars are also collecting donations across the world in the name of supporting Islamic whatever nonsense in Nigeria. And you, their shippies, they are feeding you with all the fallacies, all the lies that will continue to make you think they are superseding for you on your behalf with God. Who the hell are they? Special made because you made them so. I'll see you tomorrow on our sermon, because I'm off tomorrow and I'm off next. As you are watching me right now, if you are watching me from YouTube, okay, I know sometimes you can forget that. Please go on to that YouTube page, the YouTube channel of Maiyegun's Diary. Before you leave, right? Click on that subscription. Okay, click on the subscription on the bottom, the subscription button on the YouTube channel, so that when next time on, right, you will get the notification for that. Okay, I'll see you again tomorrow when we'll pick on the ongoing again. Until then, let me tell you this: there is no devil after your destiny. There is no devil that is making life difficult for you. There is no village people. There is nobody after your destiny. To be sincere, all those fallacies, all those lies, were made up by the criminals who are feeding fat on religion. And good enough, we have our traditionalists too. They are feeding fat on that too. But guess what? The moment you begin to destroy the system that puts through a corrupt, rigged establishment against you, when you begin to destroy that, you will realize that you won't even need to spend that much time praying to God before your prayers are answered. I didn't know. I don't know how to probably do all these marathon prayers and all of that. But to be honest with you, leaving Nigeria changed my life. Doesn't mean that you have to leave if you can't have, if you don't have the capacity to. But if you can't leave, must you endure the system they deliberately put together to weaken you, make you a subordinate, make you incapacitated? Should you keep that simply because you think you have an energy to defend a pastor, a rogue, criminals who are also making their own living and buying their own reality from a rigged, corrupt, ruined system that you have in Nigeria? The choice is yours. But again, you don't really have to like me, okay? If this eats you wrongly today, don't worry. There will be more tomorrow, and they will be even worse or even bad than this. Until I see you next, you have a good evening.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní